because a lot of people, even like Africans, would be scared to do that trip you're doing right now.
For me, it's more than simple trip or traveling. Like it's mean a lot. Like I through my trip, I want to promote like the kind of people of me, to me, disabled person, how intellect we are, how physical we are, how we manage with this kind of things, like being alone in Africa, as you say, is, and not speaking English very well.
So welcome to this episode of the MedTech 101 podcast, and today there's an exciting guest that we have here, and I think it's fair to say that it's quite amazing because I was going through my Instagram the other day, and I was like looking at my Instagram, and I was like, why is this guy crossing from Cape Town to Morocco? It just didn't make sense. It sounded something out of a movie, to be honest with you. So what I did quickly, I sent you some messages I commented on your YouTube video. I sent you a message on TikTok. I sent you a message on Instagram, everywhere, just so that I could get you before you pass through Harare. So today I have Schwan Wahab, and Schwan has got quite an interesting story because Schwan was born in Iraq. Correct me if I'm wrong, but now you live in Switzerland. And Schwan decided to fly from Switzerland to Cape Town, and this was the first time in Africa. Exactly, correct? Yeah. And now he's basically crossing from Cape Town to, I think, Tangier in Morocco, because that's the very top.
Tangier, yeah.
Yes.
Maybe Marrakesh, because like the Marrakesh gonna be my last step. I think then I'm gonna take the plane to go back to Switzerland.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Nice. No, that's good. So yeah, without any delays, welcome to the podcast, Sean.
Thank you for receiving me.
So yeah, to get started, what was it like growing up in Iraq? Because I think most people who hear about Iraq, they think of automatically, Saddam Hussein, and all those other people which are sort of like infamous from Iraq. But what would you say? What was it like for you growing up in Iraq?
Growing up in Iraq was like funny at first, because like I as a child there are too many things to do, but otherwise like the economy of the country wasn't really good. So after when Saddam was died, so just the economy threw down, and everything changed from there. Yeah.
You'd think that things got better after Saddam Hussein, but you say things went worse, or what would you say?
Before that was like really good. Like we had the country has a good economy. So as every dictator, he had like his bad sides,
yes,
good things, but in generally for people, he was doing great things.
Nice.
He gave us like a job. He gave us opportunity to grow as person and as company, and it was very good before.
Nice. And I know I know you grew up in the sort of like the northern part of Iraq.
Kurdistan.
Yeah, close to Kurdistan. I know like most people look on the map and they can't find Kurdistan, but Kurdistan is like split between Turkey, Iran, and Iraq, and they don't want to make it its own country.
Exactly. Yeah, Kurdistan is like a small part of country of Iraq. So people there basically speak Kurdish. So I'm Kurdish, so I'm Kurdish from Kurdistan.
Nice.
And since years it's been a like war between Iraq and Kurdistan because they don't want to recognize them like a country.
I know.
For many things, for petrols and those things. So
true.
It's just politics.
And and just to add on to that, my experiences I've had with Kurdish people, like my Baba when I was living in the UK, was from Kurdistan as well. They're quite good, and then that it kind of strikes a nerve what you said, right? Because there's like these people who have been like fighting for a very long time, and now there's like there were landmines, those etc., all those kind of things that were set. And if you can just go through with us quickly, like and understood, like unfortunately, like you lost your legs from
Yeah.
like a landmine.
Exactly.
And but how was it? How was it like that night? So do you remember what happened? Why are there
Actually, it
landmines
was
there?
like the 3rd April 2007.
Oh yeah.
Exactly, yeah. That's all what I can remember from this night is like it was a first explosion.
Well,
Then we go out like to make sure that everyone is okay.
yes.
And then I worked on the second one.
Wow.
Yeah.
So was someone hurt with the first one?
Yeah, someone dropped both there.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. In front
So
of a house.
is it?
Yeah.
That's insane because you think that when you're at home you're safe,
Yeah.
but obviously in that situation, it kind of puts you in a situation where you weren't safe anymore.
The thing is, like after, as I say, Saddam passed.
Yes.
There was no more security in this country.
Country.
In Iraq.
Oh, I see. Makes
Right.
sense. Well,
Yeah.
well, and then from what I understood when I was doing my research is that after that, like your dad wanted you to get some good healthcare,
Exactly.
and so he decided to send you with a bunch of other children to Germany.
Yeah.
But it turns out when you went to Germany, the group he had sent you, they're
Yeah.
basically like human trafficking.
You did
Like
your job well.
yes, of course. Yeah, it's quite insane.
So basically,
Yeah.
what happened? Like there is an organization who took us from Iraq to Germany
Yes.
for some kind of health. And what happened with this organization that all the money like disappeared
Well,
from the gala and from the people who donate us money to health, like to make protests and yeah. So just after that, like my father decided to. So yeah, basically the situation in Iraq was so bad for people like us. So I mean just disabled person. So then my dad asked someone to take me from Germany to Switzerland, where I joined my uncle was living there for 55 years before, and yeah, so that's it.
and yeah, and I think as well one of the things that you skipped there was which sounds crazy is that when you got to Germany, the police found that yes, the people who had sent you there were like illegal,
Exactly.
and they put you in foster care.
Yeah.
And then you were there for a little bit in foster care.
Yeah.
Before someone took you to Switzerland to
Yeah.
meet your uncle.
Yeah.
And now you've been living in Switzerland ever since then.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's quite a crazy story to
So
think
yeah,
of.
this kind of story, like this kind of things, is like accommodate. We call this people the passager in French. I
Okay.
don't know how you say in English, but it means like it's someone comes take you from somewhere to bring you somewhere, but illegal.
Yes.
So yeah.
So that's quite insane. And just to add on to that, really, it's quite a crazy story, and many people be asking like, so why did you choose to come to Africa to do this trip? Because you could have gone to Asia, it'd have been
Yeah.
safer. You could have gone to
Yeah.
America. You could have gone. You could have done this across Europe.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
what made you choose Africa?
Actually, I was before planning to come here. I was planning to go to America, Latin, so South America.
Yes.
But then I was like, okay, everybody goes in Asia and America, in UK, and like it's something normal for now. Like
Yes.
everyone is doing this, and why not Africa? And I was already like have some friends here, not actually in Zimbabwe, but near to Cameroon and Kenya.
Yes.
So yeah, for me it was more clear, make more sense to come here, and just the difficult of being in Africa with the wheelchair. I was thinking about all the accommodation and those challenge. I would like to make face like how to manage with this kind of things. Makes more sense for me to come in Africa
Wow.
than that other country.
Well, that's really brave. That's brave. And
Yeah.
I think that's quite inspirational as well to add on to that, because a lot of people, even like Africans, would be scared to do that trip you're doing right now. And even, even whether it's by car or by bicycle, and it's even more difficult on a wheelchair. So I understand now as well as you go up, up from Zimbabwe to Zambia, Tanzania, etc. The terrain is gonna be more steeper. It's gonna be
Yeah, no more
mountainous,
asphalt. Yeah,
and because of that, that's why you started the GoFundMe campaign so that you get a
exactly,
tri-bike so you can change the
exactly.
gears on the mountains and go.
Yeah. The thing is with this one, I have actually right now is a little bit difficult to reach a long distance because I don't have speed on. So even if on the flat road and the
Yeah.
up, I have to put the same power. If not, I'm just not moving on.
Well,
So yeah, and I just want to let you know, like,
Yeah.
for me it's more than simple trip or traveling. Like,
Yes.
it's mean a lot. Like, I through my trip I want to promote like the kind of people of meet, or me, disabled person, how intellect we are, how physical we are, how we manage with this kind of things. Like being alone in Africa, as you say, is, and not speaking English very well, is not so easy.
Yeah, but your English is
So,
good, so
yeah.
don't worry. Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
like it's more than trip for me. It's meaning a lot.
True.
Yeah.
Nice. I can imagine. I can imagine from that. And yeah, as you said, it's quite deep what you said. And I think it's this challenge is going to be inspire a lot of people. And that's why when I saw that, I was like, okay, that's the perfect story that would want on this podcast. And I'm happy you said yes. So that's good. And then looking at that, I know you also then played like Swiss basketball.
Exactly.
How
I
was
played. I
Yeah.
started very young when I arrived in Switzerland.
Sure.
So I played almost for 8 years with basketball, and I also played for the Swiss national team.
Yes.
We made some European championships.
Nice.
Yeah.
And how was it like settling into Switzerland? Like since you were from, Iraq and stuff. Was it easy settling in Switzerland, or did you find some challenges there?
Like, being on wheelchair is the first challenge, wherever you are. No matter the language, no matter the pupil, just
Yes.
the wheelchair.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like a challenge for life. It's
Yes.
not just for today or tomorrow.
True.
So, even being in Switzerland, learning about the French wasn't easy for me because, as I told you, in Arabic we start to write from right to the left.
Yes.
And in Switzerland, so in Latin, we start from the left to the right. So,
Yes.
yeah, it was not really easy, but I was young, I was motivated, so that's why I really learned very, very easily.
True. And then just coming back to your trip, because I know you told me you started in Cape Town.
Yeah.
And you went to Johannesburg. From Johannesburg, I understood like you were robbed in Johannesburg,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
like I grew up in Johannesburg. I went to
was
boarding school
so
there.
sad. Oh yeah, that thing happened. It's fine. That
Yes.
thing happened. Like,
Yeah.
and you like, I was just sad for a few days and then passed.
Good.
That's
Because I'm happy they didn't hurt you or anything like that.
No,
You can
no.
always replace things, so
Yeah.
that's fine.
Yeah,
And from Johannesburg, you went to Gaborone in Botswana.
exactly. Yeah.
And then how was Gaborone? How was the desert there? Was it close to Kalahari? Was it quite hot? How did you handle that?
I was really struggling in Botswana with
Yes.
the heat.
Of course.
That give me like, even for me moving, ask for more, how I can say,
Like energy? Would you
like
say?
energy. Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
So just moving with the wheelchair with this heat, approaching like 14 or 45 degrees at the top of afternoon. So yeah, I was really struggling, and that gave me sometimes problem for breathe, like really. So yeah.
Nice. That's interesting you say that because, Botswana. I've been to Botswana before. It's really on the edge of the Kalahari Desert,
Yeah,
so
like,
you're
this-
basically fighting sort of like desert conditions there.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's good. And then from there, you went to Victoria Falls. So did you cross at the border where there's Namibia, Zimbabwe, Botswana, and Zambia with four countries at the same border when you go into Victoria Falls?
So
Yeah.
the thing was, I start, as I say, in Botswana cycling, but then I realized like it's not possible because
Yes.
it was really really hot. Sorry.
Yeah.
So then I decided to just take the bus from Vic Falls to Bulawayo,
Yes.
and I rest there for a week, maybe a week or two,
Yes.
and then I restart my trip from Bulawayo to Harare. So,
Yes, nice.
yeah.
No, that's good. And just to tell people the distances you're talking about, I think it's almost about maybe at least I think 500 kilometers from Victoria Falls to Bulawayo, or 600 kilometers, something like
almost
that.
like
Or
450.
yeah, but it takes 6 hours
yeah.
to drive, so it's like a 6 hour drive from Bulawayo to Victoria Falls, and it's
Yeah.
one of the most remote
Yeah.
like roads
Yeah.
in Zimbabwe. Like
Exactly.
it's whenever I'm driving there, like I don't want my car to break down there because you got game life. There's Wanga National Park
Yeah.
next to it, so
Yeah.
you literally got like animals,
The
you know.
Wenge, I
Yeah,
think is
what?
the Wenge. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
so there's animals crossing the road
Yeah.
at night. So you
Yeah.
got like elephants, buffaloes, baboons,
Yeah.
impalas,
Yeah.
and the last thing you want to do is run into an elephant at night.
No,
So we
for
don't
sure.
drive that road at night. So I'm quite happy you did that. And for the most remote parts of your trip towards Morocco,
Yeah.
I would suggest you do that so you don't have to
Yeah.
tire yourself.
Myself and yeah.
Because there's no big cities in between for like a good 200 kilometers. There's no city inside.
But
so
that thing is good. Like with this new tree bike, I can
Yes.
reach more kilometer per
Nice,
day, like
nice.
around 100 per day.
yes.
Like I do,
Wow.
I do with this one. I already have like now something between 14, 17K per day.
Yes.
So it's really good. Like
True.
and imagine if I have this one with
The gears.
the hybrid one,
Yes.
with gears
Oh,
also.
wow.
So yeah, it's a hybrid one.
So it's a hybrid with basically it's an electric bike essentially.
Exactly.
Plus it's got gears as well.
Yes.
Wow, that's
So
that's
I
fast.
can reach more kilometer, and then it's safer for me.
Do you know the top speed of that of the one with the gears and the hybrid?
Actually, it's about 20-25
Kilometers per hour.
Yeah.
Nice, but with less energy, with the same energy you're
With the
using
same
before.
energy.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, that's
But
amazing.
that thing is not gonna be happen because I have also my stuff to care.
Oh,
So that's mean more white. So
Mm.
I never gonna reach like 20 kilometers per hour.
makes sense. But talking about weight, you also been losing weight, right?
Yeah, I do.
On this trip.
I do. Like I do really lose
Yeah.
some weights, and yeah.
No, that's
Yes.
insane. That's insane. I find that really inspirational, man. It's deep and yeah, and just to add on to that, really, so far on your trip, what has been the sort of like the biggest highlight for you? Like, if you had time to think for yourself, how long are you planning to do this trip? Because I know you started in January in
Yeah.
Cape Town
In
and
February.
in February in
Yeah,
Cape Town,
yeah,
and now
yeah.
it's just the 2nd of April now. So.
Yeah.
It's like 2 months in. You've done more than 3,000 kilometers. But just
Yeah.
to put it into perspective, from Johannesburg from Johannesburg to Cape Town, it's almost something like 2,000 kilometers,
Almost,
something like
yeah.
that. And then from Johannesburg to Harare, it's another 1,000 kilometers.
Yeah.
But the fact that you went through Botswana and Victoria Falls, you did a
Yeah.
detour.
Yeah.
It's like you probably have done like maybe 4,000 kilometers
Something, yeah.
nearly 4,000, 5,000 kilometers so
Yeah.
far in 2 months. And you're getting closer and closer to Morocco.
Yeah.
And now you're in Harare, which I'm happy to have you here. Really,
Thank you.
it's my home city, and I was here at the right time because to have this moment. What would you say now is the what's been the highlight for you in these 5,000 kilometers you've covered so far?
There was like few things I struggled with it. So the first one, as I told you, was the heat.
Yes.
The second one was the accommodation. Like I feel like there are no accommodation accessible for disabled person.
Oh wow.
Like I had to really check one or two hotels every time I arrive somewhere to find something accommodate for me.
Wow.
So yeah.
And to be honest, I agree with you because I think a lot of infrastructure we have here it has less accessibility.
Yeah.
Because even I remember when we met a few days ago when we went to the Chop Chop restaurant in
Yeah,
Avondale when I was
yeah.
just showing you around a little bit.
Yeah.
There barely was any like ramps or anything. So
Yeah.
the restaurant we chose happened to have a ramp, and that's why we went there, but it was just
Hopefully.
easier.
Yeah.
but it's something that this part of the world still has to catch up on, really, to make
So
it more accessible. Like, how do you cope with that? Do you make special requests in advance, or how have people been to you? Have people been understanding, or
so the answer I got
yeah?
every time when I ask them for something is like they told me we don't have like accommodates for people with disability because we don't have any visit from them.
Oh, I see.
So that not makes sense because if you are like accessible for people,
Mm.
disabled people, and you put this on your website, they will maybe come and
Yes,
visit you.
true.
But if they are not, how I'm supposed to do that your hotel or your guest house is accessible?
Yes.
You understand?
That's deep. That's deep
So
because yeah.
the other thing is like people is very kind. They also like try to help me when I get stuck with my things, with my wheelchairs, with those hotels. So yeah, the infrastructure is not really on point for us,
Makes sense.
fortunately, but we can see some people care about this, but not enough.
True, true.
Yeah.
And I think, one thing that also makes me think of is the fact that you got people who are, like sort of like physically like not limited because
Yeah.
of like they can't travel as much as they could because sometimes they just stay at home because there's nothing out there being catered for them. But what you're saying to me right now is, something that actually needs to be done, actively. Someone has to
Yeah.
actually make this,
Yeah.
and I hope this podcast also can serve
I
to
hope
just
so.
increase
Yeah.
that awareness to say that
So
we have to be more accessible, more like to create infrastructure that does not discriminate against anyone.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that things like I told you before, it's not simple trip for me.
Yes.
It means more than that.
Yes.
Like I really want to be inspiration for those people, like kind of like of me, who suffer from the looks of other, who consider it limited in terms of intellect and physical.
True.
If I can like, if I can have like small impact in their life through what I'm doing, it's win.
Good.
Mission
Good.
complete for me.
Yes.
That's all what I want to show. Like
Yes.
that is possible. Even there is no accommodation, there is no infrastructure. You
Yeah.
can do something. Like,
True.
but you must start somewhere. That's
Yes.
the only thing.
True.
And then for the rest, as I told you, like people are very kind with me. They help me all time. So yeah.
Well, no, that's nice. That's nice to hear. And for me personally, I'm quite passionate about this, and that's why obviously I started biomedical
Yeah.
engineering to try to, create other not just X-rays,
Yeah.
machines, etc., but also to create, prosthetics, to make wheelchairs more comfortable,
Yeah.
etc. So, like for me, from like an engineering point of view, I know you said, you want a tri bike because it's got a hybrid
Yeah.
sort of like battery there. You
Yeah.
got gears in there.
Exactly.
But is there anything else that you think that could improve on your wheelchair? Like how, because I've seen on your videos you've been doing some repairs.
Yeah.
What exactly has been breaking the most? So if someone's listening right now who manufactures wheelchair, like biomedical engineers
Yeah.
who are working on wheelchairs, what can they do to make wheelchairs more durable? And I'm sure like this journey tests your wheelchair to the max.
Absolutely. So there's few things about the wheelchair I have to be careful. Firstly, is the chupa. I have to carry a lot of chupa if I have a puncture.
Or like a tube.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, like a
Yeah.
tube. So, and the second thing is the small weights that you have on the front. Fortunately, they use like very fast. So
Oh, yeah.
I have also to get those extra with me.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So otherwise, it's like two type of wheelchair. You have this one's like light one. It's more made for how I say. It's more made for city of Europes.
Okay.
You can travel with it.
Yes.
It's not heavy. Normally, it's worked for a few years, but if like me, you're reaching more than I don't know 10,000 kilometer, maybe I should get one more heavier, but more strong, also more solid. So yeah, I also have to be careful about the wheelchair because if the wheelchair breaks, the trip's finished. So yeah, it's as I say, I have to I have to look I have to get the look other everything, the financial, the wheelchair, the itinerary. So it's make trip more interesting. So yeah.
Nice, nice. I'm happy to hear that that you're saying that there's these challenges that you're aware of, and you just persistently go on, even knowing that there's like challenges that you face every single time.
Yeah.
And yeah, so like, how easy is it to get these wheels? Do you have like refueling points? Like for now, you came to Harare, you're resting in Harare. You know that you're gonna get like your wheelchairs. You get some replacements
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
After Harare, when is your next stop? Or where are you gonna stop next
So
to refuel?
I think next stop gonna be Mozambique.
Mozambique.
Yeah.
Okay.
And maybe someone's told me they are the DHL service for shipment in Maputo.
Well.
So yeah, I just need a international airport.
Okay.
So if I had some problem, that they can send me things to repair or to change on the wheelchair.
So what I would suggest if it was me, I wouldn't say go to Maputo. Because if you go to Maputo from here, you're going back south.
Yeah.
The next airport from here, I think it will be Lusaka.
Lusaka.
Yeah,
In
Lusaka is
Zambia.
in Zambia. It's
Yeah.
a big, it's a big capital city.
All
It's
right,
also you're going north. You're on your way.
Yeah.
Because if you go back to Maputo, you're basically going back down.
All right.
So you don't want to go back down to go back up again. You're gonna need more. You're gonna need
That makes sense.
exactly. But so you can even bypass Zambia. You may not even have to pass through Zambia if you want. So you can go to Lusaka from here. But then the longest stretch is like from Lusaka to Dar es Salaam.
Dar es Salaam. Yeah.
That's a very long stretch. So maybe for some parts, you may have to use like like a bus or a coach, to get to Dar es Salaam.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's and then you'll get more stuff.
How is it?
Looking at the distances off the top of my head, I couldn't tell you, but I can quickly Google right now. I can quickly check on the map to see how far the distances are, but I'll check later since for this
so
side.
the other thing is also what I was planning to do is do all the roads by bicycle.
Well,
even if I can't reach a city, I can sleep somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's why you want to get the tent.
That's why I get a tent.
Makes sense.
Gas stove and some foods and
True.
So if there are a problem like politic problem in the country, for sure I will not go there.
Yes.
For myself and But if not, I will just continue the road.
True. So in northern Mozambique, there's rebels.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say you can avoid Mozambique. Yeah. But maybe if you started in the south part of Mozambique, then it's okay, perhaps. But in the northern part, there's quite rebel activity.
Okay.
But having said that, what I also recommend is if you don't get to a city, just find a fuel station.
Yeah.
You know what they do, like a gas station.
Yeah.
And then just camp next to the gas station because there's always a security guard there.
Right.
So it's much safer.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So if you don't get to a big city, especially from Lusaka to Dar es Salaam, it's a very long stretch. It's a very long stretch.
Okay.
And it's mountainous and everything in Tanzania. So that'll be quite a journey. But also, as I said again, in each country, try to find, like a local person to give you information because they will know much better than I do.
For sure.
I might know about Zimbabwe
Yeah.
and maybe the surrounding countries, but when it comes to other countries, I might not be as fully aware. So they will help you.
Yeah.
Just thinking about it, like so from here, your journey is going to be from Zimbabwe. Which countries do you plan to go next? What's your plan?
So the next country will be, as we say, Lusaka maybe.
Yeah.
And then
Zambia.
Zambia, and then Tanzania.
Yeah.
And then I will just before leaving make a itinerary.
Yes.
Which give me more flexibility.
Makes sense.
So right now I know which countries I gonna cross. So as I say, Zambia, Tanzania, Kenya.
Yes.
Until Ethiopia.
Yes.
And then I gonna take a plan cross until Cameroon.
Yes.
So from there I gonna restart
Nice, nice. And
take
that's
road again.
and then you're gonna do Cameroon, Nigeria,
Yeah,
So
I'm
you
gonna
yeah, along the coast, Ghana,
along the
Benin,
coast
Togo, and then
exactly
you're gonna go through
until Morocco.
yeah, and then how are you gonna cross the desert then, with the Sahara when you get to, Western Sahara, when you get to Mauritania? Because there's a lot of deserts there.
Yeah, there is a lot of desert, but there is also like small villages.
Yes, nice.
Yeah,
nice.
so they where I can like just stop and had a rest for days or
True.
two before leaving again.
And they speak Arabic.
Yeah, they speak Arabic. I do, so I still speak it, so that's fine.
Yeah.
But maybe they're gonna like have a friend who join me for the last part of the trip.
Nice.
So yeah,
That will help.
yeah, that
And
will help.
have you also heard of that train that goes from
Yeah,
that
I
crosses
saw
the
that on
train?
Instagram, yeah,
So that
yeah.
train might also be good. It might help you cover some mileage.
Yeah, but
if
it's not,
if you have the chance,
yeah, but
for a leg where it's maybe too dangerous, you can go on the train.
yeah,
It's still
but
part of the experience. Do you
like
think?
those things like I would say we see in media,
Yes.
in Instagram or on TV, they say like the Mauritanian desert is dangerous, but actually we don't know how dangerous is it, why dangerous is it,
Makes sense.
you know?
Yeah.
And like it's just like it was just like COVID, like everyone
Yes.
was scared of this thing, and
Yeah.
now we just managed to live with it.
Makes sense.
So yeah, maybe I will take the train,
Yeah.
but in my mind, like in my process, I will not
Take the train.
take the train. Yeah.
Makes sense. That
Yeah.
that makes a lot of sense, really. And I think like what you're doing is quite brave and everything. But just out of curiosity, are there any like places that you must see in Africa that you really looking forward to?
Yeah, Nairobi.
Nairobi. Okay,
Yeah.
nice. Nairobi, of course. It's a
Yeah.
nice city. I've been there.
Yeah.
It's quite chaotic. It's really busy.
Yeah.
And but on your way to Nairobi, if you get to Dar es Salaam,
Yeah.
if it's possible, I'd recommend you to go to Mombasa. So from Dar es Salaam, you cross into Mombasa,
Okay.
into Kenya.
Yeah.
Mombasa is quite nice. Malindi, etc. And then from there you can try get to Kenya,
Yeah.
to Nairobi,
To Nairobi, yeah.
And
Yeah.
then I know, from my understanding, is that the northern parts of Kenya right now
Yeah.
is quite dangerous. There's
Alright.
like also some banditry activity, like rebels there,
Okay.
going into Ethiopia because there's like disputed land there.
Yeah.
So for that part, for the some parts in Kenya where they tell you like, if you wanna go above this point,
Yeah.
it's at your own risk, or you have to go with police.
Yeah.
To help
So,
you get to the. What are you
As I
doing?
told you, like
Yeah.
you no, actually you told me to
Yes.
to ask local
Ex-
for
good.
how secure is this
Yes.
area.
Yeah.
So I would just ask
Ask
them if
as you go.
they tell me like go, I will go. If not, I will take the bus and
Exactly.
just cross. So
Good.
yeah,
Good, but Ethiopia will be nice. Exactly, to be a nice place for you to
Yeah.
experience some new African stuff,
Yeah.
some African culture and everything, and that's quite nice to hear, Sean. And just a few like random questions now and
Yeah.
everything. Like a lot of people asking me like, how do you like fundraise such a trip? Because there's a lot of people right now who'll be thinking, okay, I also want to do this trip. I want to go there.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
how do they raise their money?
This is so yeah. There's few things like I worked for few years, as I
Yes.
say, so to save any penny to be able to do this kind of trip. But it's still some problem because like with this bike I had to buy. I create a GoFundMe, but it's still not complete. So I have to put some amount of the bike from my pocket.
Yes.
So it's gonna be quite challenging to manage with the finance until Morocco.
Yes.
Yeah. So
But-
it's not really easy, but
So I would say, like, if anyone is listening to this podcast right now, like, I will look at the camera even.
yeah.
If anyone's listening, like, go fund me. I'll put the link below
Yeah,
for this
yeah, for
episode,
sure, yeah.
and please, like, go donate money for Sean there.
Thank you.
To help him, finish this trip, because he said to get a new bike. You read the details. I'll put everything in the links below, and also the article about
Yeah.
your story as well. I'll put it in below so people to see that, because I don't want you to starve, etc.
Yeah.
But now you have my phone number, so if something happens, you can always try to get hold of me. I'll see if I can make it,
Yeah.
because if you're so remote, I might not be able to make it, you know.
Yeah.
But if I can, I'll try to come out and, and help out and everything.
Yeah.
So
But
that's good.
it's like it's quite easy like to plan a trip because it's like for everyone when you want to do a big trip like this you want to
True.
save money.
Yes.
So that's mean you have to reduce some other things, other hobbies, vacations maybe. So for years or two, then you are able to do this.
Nice. And the next question that I got was, when do you plan to arrive in Morocco? What's the time span you've given yourself for this
So
trip?
this is the question for 1 million.
Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know.
Well,
I gave myself like around 7 months.
no, well,
Yeah.
in 2 months in so far, you've made some progress. So that's
Yeah,
good.
yeah. Maybe 7 months is enough with the hybrid bike.
True.
And yeah, 7 months is quite good.
True. Nah, that's good. And
Maybe
also,
less or maybe more. I
okay.
don't know. Like it's really.
Yeah, like I mean, for most of this part, it's gonna be fine. As I
Yeah.
said, when you get to Tanzania, when the mountains start
Yeah,
kicking,
yeah.
well, you need your hybrid bike for that
I
a
need
lot.
my hybrid bike for
And also
that.
your
Yeah.
arms, like because like I remember when we were
Yeah.
eating the other time, a few days ago, the other guy, the rest was it the manager? He asked to
Yeah, in
see your
chop,
in
yeah,
Chop Chop. He
chop,
asked,
chop,
which
yeah.
is the restaurant we went to. He asked to see your arms as well, and like your arms are much bigger than mine, so I'm sure like
Yeah,
they
I
can
have
deliver.
to improve something myself really before leaving.
True. And how are you maintaining your fitness, like your diet and everything? Are
Just
you looking at
eating.
what you're eating, blood
No,
tests,
really.
etc.?
I just eating less
Okay.
when I'm traveling. So I actually when I'm biking, I'm eating more,
Okay.
like more fruits, more meat, uh, more carbs. And when I'm like resting, I just eat less. That's all.
Okay.
And for maintaining myself, like I go gym twice or 3 times per week,
Nice.
and just making some exercise, like for core exercise,
True.
mobility, and that's all.
Nice. And also another question that I've gotten from people, because a lot of people been complimenting your hair and
Yeah,
everything.
it's like
Yeah,
funny
but
because
how do you maintain that? How have you been looking after your hair on this
they're
trip?
like it's really funny because when I tell people when they stop me and ask me what I'm doing, like in the middle of the road, and I just tell them, yeah, I come from Kadoma. You say, what are you doing here? Like, why are you doing this? And then at first they think I'm lying. Like I say, no, I come from Kadoma, really.
In Kadoma is another city that's like outside of Kwekwe.
Yeah.
I don't know how many kilometers it is from Harare, but it's quite you have to drive for a couple of hours to
Yeah,
get there.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, and so how are you maintaining your hair? Do you have like special shampoos or anything like that,
Oh,
or you just let
the
it
first
be?
the first 2 days I burned my nose,
Well,
of course, of the heat. Yeah,
well,
it
yes.
was burned up the second degrees.
Well,
Yeah, so I have to rest for repair, and then now I just have a headhunt and some,
like a headache.
yeah,
Makes sense.
and sun cream, and that's all.
True.
That's
And
all.
like and for your hair as well, your hair, like
For
your
my hair, nothing.
nothing, just let it go.
Nothing. Yeah,
Okay, cool.
just let it go. Yeah.
Now, but people been complimenting that a lot.
Yeah,
And people were just wondering how
yeah.
you're doing it on this
Yeah,
trip.
they told me how you have like curly hair because I'm look like they say you are white.
Yes.
How you have like curly hairs like us? So I don't know. Ask my father.
Of course.
Yeah.
Nice. It's been quite a cultural experience for you as well, right?
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
is.
like what? And I understood this was your first time in Africa.
Absolutely.
So did Africa meet the expectations that you thought? Is it the Africa you thought would be, or
No, really,
what did you think before you came versus what you know
I
now?
had like a thought about Africa, but it's better what I was thinking about. Like it's just amazing. It's different culture. The people are different. People are very kind, and yeah, it's not what like they tell us something about Africa when we are in Europe, and
Yes.
it's totally.
Nice. I'm happy to hear that. And just and just one more question really is like for you to do this trip, was this quite physically straining? Do you have like particular sleep routine, a sleep pattern, or what have you been doing to
It's like,
maintain your energy levels?
as I say, I had to eat correctly. So that means enough vegetable and meats and carbs. Otherwise, yeah, I had to sleep well,
Nice.
like every night, almost 7 or 8 hours.
Well,
If not, if I not have enough time of sleep, I'm not gonna be able to take the road every day, day after day.
well,
So that's why when sometimes it's really hot, I stay 2 day in the same place because I didn't sleep well the last night.
well.
So yeah,
And you don't want this to happen when you're in the
I
middle
don't.
of somewhere.
No,
And
no, I don't. I
yes,
don't wanna. Yeah.
yeah, and just thinking with the hybrid bike, you'll be able to run away from like some animals that might bother you because when you start getting to other parts where there's a lot of game animals,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
might meet some hyenas or something on the
absolutely.
road, and
Yeah,
they'll follow you. Those are
yeah,
things that you're gonna get tired, so they
yeah,
might follow you for a
yeah,
little
yeah,
bit.
yeah, yeah.
But now with the
The
like the
hybrid
hybrid
one,
bike,
yeah,
you can outpace
absolutely,
them.
absolutely. Yeah.
And
The other things like why it's work when I like I can write every day
yes,
because when I'm somewhere and I don't really have internet,
yes.
so that means no distraction. When I
Oh,
arrive somewhere, I just eat and then I sleep early.
well,
So that's
nice.
very cool. Like I don't have any other distraction.
Well, that's
Yeah.
good because I think that's how life has become, where we have like the internet plays a huge part of our
Yeah,
life.
yeah, yeah.
So
Absolutely.
yeah, no, definitely. No, thank you very much
Thank
for
you for
coming
you.
on the podcast, Sean. I think the audience will love this episode. They'll get to know you a
I
little
hope
bit
so.
more, and as I said, they, guys, if you can help, like they should help,
Yeah.
and this should also raise some awareness, which I really wanted to do, and it's really inspiring, man. So, no, thank you very
Thank
much.
you very
Good,
much.
thank you.
Thanks for
Good,
having
take
me.
care.